assure the House and to assure Berbecians on the East Bank Berbice that the works on this road will start in the fourth quarter of 2024. Mr. Speaker.
Very soon.
Mr. Speaker.
Word.
Mr. Speaker. On the third, in respect to sea defenses, I will have to say, despite the noises and the little troubles that we have sometimes in the dramatic pictures, which are usually inaccurate, which are put in the newspapers with the stories that go along with it, that our sea defense structures, are under good management and our sea defense structures are under good management and attention. Based on the condition surveys, we are aware of those areas of sea defenses which need attention. We publish at every springtime areas largely on the question of wind-driven storm surges where they may be overtopping. And everywhere there has been an overtopping has been an area where we have warned where the foreshore may have been lowered against the sea defense. And we have to understand where there is overtopping that it does not represent a breach of the sea defenses. That water flashing over the wall doesn't represent a breach in the sea defenses. That the sea defense structures normally consist of a mangrove flat, usually, a hard concrete structure or an earthen dam, and a facade drain which leads to focus. And so the dramatic, but they're not really dramatic if you look at the pictures carefully. The representations made sometimes in the press with respect to this matter are not accurate usually. We have with the Caribbean Development Bank a third sea defenses project of US $25 million, 5.5 kilometers of critical sections of sea defenses will be attended to. And we have consultancy service for the supervision and the institutional strengthening and capacity building activities within the sea defense unit of the work services group. 8 locations are targeted for rehabilitation: Zorg, Johanna, Cecilia, Endeavour, Blenheim, Success on Leghorn Island, Grove Lookout on the East Bank, Essequibo, Crane, Harlem, Rotterdam, and Marion, the west coast of Demerara, Good Success, New Hope, East Bank, Demerara, Lonsdale Sisters Village on the East Bank, Berbice, and at number 78 Village, Line Park. Under the 10th EDF Sea Defense with the European Development Fund, we signed, the government of Guyana signed with the European Union a financing agreement on January 31st for 14 million euros, 14 million euros for the sea defense sector. It is important to note that the European Union has moved over funding for the sea defense activities from project support to budget support. This identifies their confidence in our abilities with respect to the scheduling of vital sea defense works and with respect to our engineering management, supervision, and execution of the works with respect to this activity. It has moved from project support to budget support. And this expression of confidence of the European Union should not be lost on any person in this country. Mr. Speaker, in respect of nationally funded projects, we have the continued construction to complete this year of the new access road to the CGIA of $2.5 million. We have had extensions due to location of vendors. We've had issues with the removal of GT&T networks, wiring. These issues are now being set aside, and we anticipate that by August of this year, this work will be completed, and that we will be able to access our international airport in a safer manner and more appropriate manner for a facility of its size. On the East Bank Demerara, we expect the completion, the continuation of works, the Annandale in the first instance, of road widening works, which honorable members would see in progress, Lots 1, 2, and 5 under Dipton Engineering, Lot 3 under CSL Services Limited, Lot 4 under Construct Engineering Limited, and Lot 6 and 7 from Colin Talbot Engineering. These are all national contractors, and we do have some difficulties in a couple of sections with respect to the continuation of this work.
1 second, honourable member. We require an extension.
Mr. Speaker, I propose that the Honourable Minister be given 15 minutes to continue his presentation.
Proceed, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm being very deliberate in my presentation. I want the honourable members to pay attention to this. The honourable members, some of them come to ask me to fix a crater or some pothole in front of their houses. And I try to find out the necessity to do the works in other places, but we'll get to them. We'll get to them. Mr. Speaker, they have no interest when we speak about the road works and the bridging works or ordinary guys. Mr. Speaker, continuing, yes, I prepared to discriminate against you as long as ordinary Guyanese people. Activity and work has to be done. You have to wait. I'm waiting too, you know. Mr. Speaker, bridges. Mr. Speaker, you have to wait too. Show the patience, honorable member. Mr. Speaker, we are doing bridges that supply a guy of work to reduce the time of travel from that area. We have completed a road at Castlehampton Port. We are rehabilitating the Molson Creek Aquaponics Bridge. We're rehabilitating the B Field Sophia Connected Bridge as well. Mr. Speaker, in 2013, may I have your attention, Mr. Williams? In 2013, In 2020. Yes. Mr. Speaker, I apologize to the honorable member that I haven't gone and fixed some hole in front of it. Mr. Speaker.
One second, Mr. Minister. Water beats and member rising is some moderated by the member. Provided that the member speaking is willing to give way and resume. You cited, could you, honorable minister, are you willing to allow Mr. to elucidate the matter? The member has agreed for you to.
Mr. Speaker, the conscience is biting. Mr. Lumumba lives next to me. It fixed Mr. Lumumba Road 5 years ago. This Parliament Assembly knows I will pay for my own road.
Entertaining as it is, we cannot have a sub-debate.
Exactly. So I just wanted to refer to show, sir.
I'm asking the journal has never been
that I never asked the minister to fix any road. The president, the now president, has said to me that when we win elections, my road will be fixed.
Our minister, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, for the record, the honorable member, Basil Williams, has several times accosted me in this house outside here, asking me when I'm going to come to fix his road. I have said to him every time that the road in front of my house is worse than this one. It has a whole plaster. Basil Williams, I repeat that road in front of my house. Mr. Basil Williams' house. Not be fixed until he takes more important roads in this country. Every road is important because we live here. Honourable Minister, you do well to proceed rather than to Mr. Speaker, respond to intervention. Mr. Speaker, I have repeated that the characterization with respect to roads and bridges and all other activities relate to their attachment to a major trunk line, their access to a major trunk line, the number of persons in the community who are serviced by it, whether there's a school, a religious building, or some large community building in the area, or sports center. Those are the prioritizations and also the time with respect to whenever the road would have been built in the first time and its condition against all those other things. And simply put, the road in front of my house does not fit that bill. And I'm prepared to wait. Yes. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. We have done 88 kilometers of road last year, both by DBST and asphalt work. We had a supplementary provision of 400 million for maintenance of roads. We did 20 roads or are doing 20 roads in Region 2 for $50.3 million. 22 roads in Region 3 for $50.3 million also. In Region 4, 46 roads for $79 million. Region 5, 39 roads for $55 million. Region 6, 83 roads for $165 million. And the benefits deriving from this maintenance is reduced traveling time, reduction of vehicle operating costs, extension of service life of the roads, and increase in driving contact. We have spent quite a bit of money, and we have worked in conjunction with the Ministry of Home Affairs, particularly with respect to road accidents. We would like to point out that our cooperation with respect to the putting in place of highway lighting, of roadside barriers, of improving and striping and so on, in spite of the increase in vehicular traffic, and I'm told for last year there was an increase in vehicular traffic on the road, cars particularly, a gain of some 10,000 new vehicles, that we have had a stabilization of road fatalities in 2013 to 103 deaths. All regrettable, but this is a 50 or more % reduction in the situation we had in 2007 when we embarked on a new program, when the Ministry of Home Affairs started on issues of seat belts, breathalyzers and so on, and we started putting the street lights, the highway lights that is, and the traffic lights. This is a significant reduction, but we have to continue efforts to have this amount again if we are to achieve the international standards with respect to this matter. I spoke of highway lights. We've installed 257 new lights all across the coast. Mr. Speaker, with respect to Linden, we have just completed a project of highway lights from the minibus park all the way to Amelia's Ward, and I am happy to report that we will put those lights into service tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, with respect to air transport, you may recall that 2013 was the year which represented 100 years of flying in Guyana. This activity was celebrated in the country. A number of our flyers, particularly our female aviators, were recognized by the GCAA. The GCAA has been working continuously, and we've had significant investment in its infrastructure with respect to operationalizing of the Oval Regional Airport, that public-private partnership which is operating successfully now in the location. There has been significant improvement with respect to the instrumentation in the tower, but Mr. Speaker, particularly there has been a marked improvement in training and education with respect to air traffic management and with respect to engineering in the facility. There are indeed problems from time to time which we have to address and to examine management issues and issues of ergonomics in the tower, but there has been a significant improvement overall from the base where we started. We intend to continue on the work of continuous improvement with the staff and with the facility. The Civil Aviation Authority is tasked with the effort of our achieving Category 1 status in 2 years' time, with respect to travel to the United States of America. But I would like to point out particularly that they have been successful in graduating 12 new air traffic and area control trainees. I'm told that the success rate has improved from around 10% to 75% in the case of our graduates or young people who enter this program. And I think that this is an important result so that we will have a new cadre of people who will continue to work this important activity going ahead. Mr. Speaker, I did say a little about the question of the expansion of the CGIA airport, the runway expansion by 1,000 meters, which will allow us to land jumbo jets on our runway. I have to point out to the soon expected arrivals who have been licensed on April 2nd, Copa Airlines will be coming to Guyana in July, and we expect them to be flying to Panama City with Embraer and 767, 500s and 767, 800 aircraft, and there will be more options and perhaps cheaper reports with respect to flying out of our country. Yes, Panama is an international hub for South America and for the United States with respect to air traffic, honorable member. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, the Amila Falls Access Road, which provides access to the intended important facility, the hydropower facility for 160 megawatts at Amila Falls, will be completed, substantially completed in April. At Section 2, a national contractor is a kilometer or so away from the river landing at Esquipio opposite Butukari. And in Section 7, there are 2 kilometers of roadway works still to be completed with respect to the movement of traffic to the base of the falls so that this important capital transformative activity will be undertaken. Mr. Speaker, I'm still perturbed because I heard some members talking about the derailing, stopping, all of these problems with respect to the Amila Falls hydropower project. While I leave the Prime Minister to give the important answers, I want to repeat that the question of energy and cheap power for our country is, aside from the political problem, the most important thing which affects the economy of our country. It is the most important activity, the most important question, the lack of cheap power in our national development equation. And the building of the Amila Falls Road and the establishment of the hydropower facility for 160 megawatts will resolve this problem. So the question that is raised all over about the investments from foreign countries with respect to the question, Mr. Speaker, you get repeated calls about feasibility studies and environmental studies, and I still don't understand it. We provided these studies. These things are on the GINA website. They can Google it, but they come in this house and wail and carry on. Even after being provided with information, we prepare to provide information again. We prepare to do it again. And I was reminded that we took some honorable members, Lieutenant Colonel retired Harman, and Mr. Rupert Rupnarain, doctor, on a trip there. They were very impressed with what they saw that was unfolding, that they landed on, they wrote about. They spoke with our young Guyanese engineers and technicians who are working on the road and our workers. They were very enthused. At the airport, they were shown all the information at hand with respect to the development of the airport, the expansion. But in any event, Mr. Speaker, they came back and they applied the scissors and they cut. So the very young people who were supposed to be working out there and provided could not have been mobilized in all the confusion last year, could not have been mobilized to take control of the project and to have it done as efficiently as we wanted to do. All because of the cuts. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to create any additional distress for the honorable member, Lieutenant Colonel retired Joseph Harman. But I would like to say to him, and Mr. Speaker, I will be the first to acknowledge that there's a significant brain trust that resides on this side of the house. A significant brain trust. Bright, brilliant, experienced men. The question is the political perception, their approach to the subjects, and their willingness to be open and flexible with respect to important national questions. But I look forward to the support, maybe I should say continued support perhaps. I look forward to the support from the members on the other side of the house, including in the corner over here, with respect to this important synergistic national project. And so we shouldn't be coming and crying and quarreling in here about giving monies to Linden. I told it's $23,000 or $25,000 a month to every household. And the net result of the putting in of this money is its wastage. Perhaps it's better that we give the people $10,000 a month and let it pay for power. Let me see what savings we will result. And then we could take that money and put it into important development works with respect to the communities, particularly Linden too. So it's no use we're coming here, Mr. Speaker, the very honorable member, Ms. Vanessa Kissoon.
Honourable Minister, you have 5 minutes to
The very honorable member, Ms. Vanessa Kissoon, in her presentation, made certain attacks, I perceive, against our development partners, against those who would want to come, the communities which they say are significantly depressed, are in need of investment. And I speak to communities in Region 10.
Mr.
Speaker, when the honorable member was speaking, bubbles were falling off from her head. And I had a fear for the large cross that she had on her when she was speaking. The honorable member There was a lot of